The GCW Intercontinental Championship division has really been spiced up behind the scenes lately. The Wheel of Random now decides the winners of the Intercontinental Championship matches instead of me. And also I used the community tab for you guys to vote what guy you want to see challenge for the championship. So that is another cool thing. And, makes the division just so unpredictable, even to me. So it kind of makes me more excited to film these matches because I never know what's gonna happen. And another cool rule is to raise the stakes here a little bit, is that if the Intercontinental Champion gets 3 successful championship defenses, he is in line for a GCW World Championship match, which is like a huge thing, especially it being that all the matches are determined by random, so anyone could basically jump up into the World Championship division through this championship. Okay, the Cruiserweight Championship has been kinda on ice lately, and there are some behind the scenes reasons for that. First is that the whole League of Liger storyline that I had planned kinda didn't work out. Main problem is that those figures keep losing their horns. You move them, you pose with them, they lose their horns. It makes it incredibly hard to film with. Second reason is that the majority of the audience just doesn't care too much about the Cruiserweights, so from a business perspective, it doesn't really make sense to spend days filming Cruiserweight matches. I do hope to bring more Cruiserweight matches out though, because I'm gonna be starting doing more GCW house show clips, like shorter clips of matches, which will give me the opportunity to feature the Cruiserweight Championship here and there. The GCW Xtreme Championship is obviously all about Xtreme matches. You could argue that it is probably the most watched title in GCW, because the majority of people on here, on YouTube, they just want to see the hardcore stuff. So this championship is kind of here to keep the ratings up, basically. For example, if you look at GCW Extreme Rules, we had the Ospreay and G-Man stuff, which we really put our heart and soul into. And in my opinion, they are one of the best matches in GCW history. But the majority still preferred the exploding barbed wire death match. So yeah, unfortunately it is a fact that in this YouTube niche of wrestling figures, hardcore stuff is just more appreciated than deep long-term storylines. So the extreme stuff is kind of here to keep the lights on, so that we get to do stuff like the Ospreay and G-Man storyline, stuff like that at all. Which brings me to the GCW World Championship, which is the championship that I will never compromise with storyline-wise for views. You got Will Ospreay as the current champion. For views, definitely isn't the best choice, but for quality of content, I do personally believe it is. Ospreay is like the best matches, and Danny's voice acting for Ospreay is incredible. And I think we have done so much fun stuff in the last weeks, especially with Ospreay here. If we were optimizing for views, we would just put the belt on Roman Reigns. But the GCW Championship is more like what is true to me, what is good content to me. And I think there's a base audience on here that appreciates it as well. And there are other things that I do like that, for example, Jeff Hardy being a heel. I personally love it, like there's a base audience that really likes it, but the masses are more like,
why does Jeff Hardy have short hair? He looks like a vampire.
They've never seen Jeff Hardy as a heel, they think it's not real, and they just want to see Jeff Hardy jump off ladders and stuff like that. But like I said, we have like a balance here in GCW to balance everything out. We do the stuff that I think personally is great content, and then we gotta do stuff for the masses, what they enjoy, so that we can keep the Fed running at all. So I hope this was like a little video that made you understand more why we do what we do with decisions here in GCW. We will be back this weekend with the G1 Climax tournament. And click right here to see who won the epic battle between Karrion Kross and Lashley over the Intercontinental Championship.